Hey, what is up, everybody? This is steviebreech coming to you here on a Monday, driving home from work. I am still. I don't want to use the word upset, but I still got a bad feeling about the Niners game last night. It's not like we got screwed. It's not like we got hosed. It's not like we lost the game on bad play calling. It wasn't a bad ref call or anything like that. The Niners just got out-muscled, out-manned, out-teamed, out-schemed. I don't know. I mean, we came out with the right kind of moxie. We came out with the right kind of feel. We got that early field goal, and I say, hey, we got points on the board. We're moving the football. And then the Bills realized that they were the Bills. Touchdown, down 7-3. Then it was 14-3. And all over but the shouting. This is like the time that I look in the mirror and I realize that the San Francisco 49er football season is not going to end the way that I thought it was. I thought that this definitely was a Super Bowl team. I thought this was going to be our year. I thought this was, what it was made for. You go out, you win the Super Bowl, you find a way to give Brock Purdy a big quarterback. We probably got to say goodbye to a few people, but at least we finished our story. But we probably not even going to get a playoff invitation. We're not going to get a playoff loss. We're just going to limp towards the end of the year. We've got this game coming up against the Bears. Another team. The Bears, I don't think people thought were going to win a Super Bowl team, but they were a team that could, strike a match and figure something out and get it going. They draft Caleb Williams, number 1 overall. They give him two good receivers. They give him a running back. Of course, they made that awesome trade with Washington. They got Sweat for their defensive line. And they got the makings of a team that wants to win and wants to win now. It was almost like they understood the window. They just forgot to fire their head coach. And now we're, week 13. We're going to be week 14 when this game plays. We finally fired Eberflus. They fired their offensive coordinator. So this is going to be a really big offseason where they got to go out. Hopefully they'll spend some money on an offensive line. They'll find the best coach they can get. I know that's the big talk of the town. Sounds like Cliff Kingsbury, the guy that was he with Texas A&M, I think is where he was. And then he got the job as a young head coach with Arizona. He had like 1 or 2 good years there, and then it slowly started to slip away from him. I don't know, man. I don't know. You look at the way that our schedule is for the rest of the season. This Bears game is the most winnable game we have. In my heart of hearts, I believe that we can beat the Rams. I believe that we can beat the Cardinals. We've lost to them this season. I don't want to just put the L on the board and just be like, we tried our best. We were hurt. It is what it is. But I mean, you got to respect the fact that these teams beat us. Arizona beat us by more than I like to admit, and the Rams came from behind and beat us. Because the story of the year, other than injuries, I think people are going to remember the fact that we defensively could not handle holding a lead in the fourth quarter. And that sucks. I mean, I tip my hat. Fred Warner and the defense. Nick Bosa is out. I would be really surprised if we see him again this season. Christian McCaffrey, you got to be thinking that he's more than likely not going to be coming back this season. This morning it was labeled as a potentially season-ending injury. I understand the guy, he's got a lot of problems. we really didn't know about until week 1 kickoff against the Jets, when it's like all of a sudden like, oh, he's not going to play. I don't know. I mean, I think you shut him down as fast as you can to try and figure out what's going on in there, fix it, and hope that he's able to come back next season and be the Christian McCaffrey that he's been for us. I think that until you're mathematically eliminated, I don't think that you stop playing. I'm not saying like don't put Purdy out there, protect our guys that are going to be our guys, but I don't know. I mean, you got to start scheming at the same time of trying to figure out what the foreseeable future of this team is. We drafted Deebo Samuel as well as Brandon Ayuk. Deebo Samuel, I think, is a special player in this league, but I think that you can look in the mirror and you can tell yourself that Deebo Samuel being like a top 10 receiver in this league might be done. I mean, he's a guy that you have to respect. He's got to have a few games a year where he just breaks out and you realize who he is, and it's kind of like that old dog you have that, every once in a while you look at him and you're like, oh, I thought we were getting towards the end, but he's starting to act like a puppy again. And I'm sure he'll have it. I know the way that these stories always end. You don't really see veterans take lesser roles to just stay with a team. I mean, Jerry Rice is a guy that should have been a 49er for life, but instead he was a Seahawk. He was a Raider. He was almost a Bronco. I guess you can say he didn't. He retired before opening day. He did play preseason games and practice with them. It looked like he was going to make the team, but I don't know, man. I mean, I want to ride this thing out until the end. I know that come Sunday, I'll be ready to watch football. But, as of right now, I'm not really buckled down to watch it. But I really think that this might be our one chance to get a win this season. Hopefully, you can spark something and we can get it going. But we're at the point now where we're going to have to start making decisions about what we think this team is and what it's going to be. I'll tell you the truth. I was listening to, I believe it's called The Stretch. It's a Bears podcast out of Chicago, Big Cat, and the Chicago boys. But some of the guys aren't there because they're going to India to get their hair transplants right now. There's no Eddie, no White Sox Dave. Chief's there with them. But, they're kind of saying maybe it's not a chance, but they're thinking that Kyle Shanahan is a guy that could be an option to be the next Bears head coach. I'm not ready for that. I don't think that's going to be it. I think that every head coach that has a come up in the league, and sometimes you have to tear it down and see if you can build it back up to show how good of a coach you really are. Maybe that's the point we're at. That's also going to be on the GM. But these guys came in, linked together. They've pretty much signed all their contracts together to make sure that they're going to be there. I mean, they don't want to have any division between them. Where they have each other's backs. I don't know. I'm not ready to let him go. I'm not thinking that the fault really falls on him. I just hope we can find an offensive coordinator to come in and help him out. I think that is a really, really big thing that would have helped this season. Another thing I put blame on, more than anything else, is the way we cupcaked our way through the offseason as well as the preseason, where it just kind of like we're the 49ers. We're a Super Bowl favorite, and it seemed like, guys were hurt, guys were injured. A lot of guys didn't, go out there and get ready. I'm not a football player. I don't really know what entitles getting ready, but I do know that even though it sucks, they got those preseason games for a reason, and a lot of the guys weren't out there. And you got to take reps to get there. I know that a lot of these guys have been on this team, but you just gotta get that back, and you gotta get ready. I mean, it is what it is, and no looking back. We'll figure it out. Probably the most excited thing I want to see out of this game with the Bears is to see what the 49ers backfield looks like. Isaac Guerrero as well as Jordan Mason, two-headed monster back there. I was pumped when we drafted Isaac. I think it was from Louisville. If I'm not 100% sure on that, but when his name came up, he was a guy that I was pumped about, and I wanted to see what the future was going to lie for him, because I knew that some of the role was going to have to be lessened for McCaffrey. He's great, he's good, and all that, but as you get older, you can't do everything. So, it is what it is. Let's figure it out. Sunday, Bears. I hope we got a good one.